And for people who feel sad nowadays, who feel lonely, who feel there's nothing left for them in this world,
here's some sunshine.
Don't give up, my friend.
सारी उम्र हम मर मर के जी लिए, एक पल तो अब हमें जीने दो, जीने दो।
सारी उम्र हम मर मर के जी लिए, एक पल तो अब हमें जीने दो, जीने दो। सारी उम्र हम मर मर के जी लिए, एक पल तो अब हमें जीने दो, जीने दो। ना 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 ना। Give me some sunshine, give me some rain, give me another chance. I wanna grow up once again.
Now coming back to the movie again, let's talk about all these jokes that they've incorporated in the movie. For starters, the pen and the pencil joke. I mean, that is a really old joke which they did incorporate. I mean, you know, a pencil nib flying around, hitting somebody in the eye in zero gravity and stuff. So they invented a zero gravity pen which works everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I had heard that joke before. I mean, it's the kind of stuff you'd probably have heard from a friend of a friend of a friend somewhere. But yeah, in the context of the film, I guess it was well used. And it showed what kind of a guy Rancho was and what kind of a professor this guy was. And that really sets the tone for the rest of the film. As I remember, it was one of the early moments in the film. And I guess it really sets the tone for a laugh riot.
And talking about other jokes also, if you realize there was this advertisement about Mentos at once, where the person would come and say, "Sir, do you know my name? Sir, do you know who I am?" And then put the paper in the middle and then just walk out of the class. I mean, that joke was very, very well incorporated in that film. It was a laugh.
Yeah, laughs just kept coming as Three Idiots kept the audiences glued.
But it was not just laughs. You had the sentimental moments too, which everybody, I'm quite sure, appreciated. Everybody had fun. That's what made the movie its.
Yeah, I guess this trick was very well used by a director. I mean, he has this habit of putting in this big emotional moment, right? Just when you're least expecting it. I mean, there's this scene when Amir and the others are flying this helicopter they have made from scrap pieces and stuff. And just when they take that helicopter up to the room of a friend, they see he's hanging by the neck. And he has this manipulative streak in him. Like you have this light moments and just bang, you have a big emotional moment and everyone is stunned. So I guess that's a kind of a dishonest way to make a movie, but yeah, it does work.
And now talking about the boyfriend and the girlfriend issue. I'm quite sure everybody here would really want to know about that, but let's say people, this is not ICE, if you please. This is IIT. I mean, there the girl was allowed to get into the boys' hostel in the middle of the night, but here I don't quite think so, because if that was the case, then I'm quite sure Kharagpur would be a really, really different sight right now.
I guess Kareena Kapoor walking the streets of Kharagpur would be a really different sight.
And walking into a boys' hostel in the middle of the night would be totally, let's not use that word today.
Yeah. Right.
Moving on to that very, very famous speech all of us have heard and laughed our heads off to. The Chamatkari/Balatkari speech.
Yes, wasn't that hilarious? I mean, the way in which he substitutes words, it leaves everyone red-faced, it leaves the crowd in splits, and it was just brilliant. Don't you agree?
It was brilliant. Well, for all the lovers and couples out there, for everybody who's in love and everybody who wants to stay in love, this one's for you.
Zooby dooby pam para, zooby dooby param pam. Zooby dooby nache क्यों पागल stupid man.
Zooby dooby pam para, zooby dooby param pam. Zooby dooby nache क्यों पागल stupid man.
शाखों पे पत्ते गा रहे हैं, फूलों पे भंवरे गा रहे हैं,
दीवानी किरणें गा रहे हैं, ये पंछी गा रहे हैं.
वो बगिया में दो फूलों की हो रही है गुफ्तगू, जैसा फिल्मों में होता है हो रहा है हूबहू.
Ay zooby dooby pam para, zooby dooby param pam.
Zooby dooby nache क्यों पागल stupid man. Zooby dooby pam para, zooby dooby param pam. Zooby dooby nache क्यों पागल stupid man.
Now coming back to that speech, wow, that was funny. But also, coming to this point, if that ever happened in IIT, what do you think the director would do? You think he would be sitting at the side and laughing while the dean was actually getting pissed off?
I think he would have been planning a massive DC for all of the people involved in it.
I think everybody who was laughing behind him also would get a DC.
DC.
I mean, come on, you would be like, pack your bags, get out, I don't want you in IIT anymore, my friend. Especially in Sanskrit, if he said it, oh my god. You would have been sitting on the roads outside Kharagpur station saying, please give me some money to go back home in a train because even my parents have disowned me.
All in all, I think a debacle of that scale would have left a lot of people, let's say an entire hall, with Balatkar on their minds.
Exactly. And coming back to the fun part of that speech, well, it was funny, it was hilarious, and let's say all of us did have a good time in the Balatkari and the stunts.
Yes. Because as we all know, दोस्त ही इंसान का असली स्तन होता है.
Well said, my friend, well said. Well, when you come back to the movie and you think about all the characters played, well, Madhavan's character was a peculiar one. He doesn't actually want to study engineering, but he's forced to. His mom and dad want him to do something. They have set a path for him. So he follows that like a good son. But then later when he actually realizes what he wants, is it too late for some of us? Because it wasn't too late for him. He dropped out. He did graduate, but he did drop out of his engineering stream. Took a chance into wildlife photography, let's say. But is that the way some of us feel? I mean, what would we do if we had to drop out of IIT? Wouldn't our self-esteem like blow up straight in our face? What do you think?
Well, I think the decision to drop out of IIT would obviously be momentous. But I guess better late than never. I mean, there is no point really leading somebody else's life. I mean, if you're not doing something which you believe in, then you're leading somebody else's life. And I know it can be tough. There are a lot of issues at play. I mean, your parents who have obviously sacrificed such a lot. I mean, it's very easy to just force it all upon them saying, okay, my parents are forcing me to do this and this. In that case, the parents turn out to be the bad guys. But that's not always how it is. I mean, your parents have your best interests at heart. Having said that, I believe that in the end, it is your life. It is the stuff which you do day in, day out. And I believe if you do not have passion backing that up, then it's futile. And I guess what we can learn from Madhavan's character is, one, better make your choices up early. And B, if you don't, then realize before it's too late what you were really meant to do. And this character is really personal for me, and especially the other character, Karina's brother, who was actually not shown on screen, but she finally talks about him, about how he wanted to be a writer. And that's really personal because I want to be a writer, and I think I can do that even after passing out of IIT. So I guess these things really touched me.